Welcome to Prominent Biology classes. In this video we are going to discuss about the polymerase chain reaction, bioreactors and downstreaming process. So let's start with the polymerase chain reaction. Polymerase chain reaction, PCR. It is a technique of making multiple copies of gene of interest in laboratory. It is chain reaction. By continuing this reaction we can get billions of copies in a very short period of time. So first see what are the requirements for this PCR. These are the requirements for PCR, polymerase chain reactions. The first is the DNA segment or the gene of interest, that is we have to make its copy. And then the next is the DNA primers. The two sets of DNA primers. Actually the primers are small sequence of nucleotides. These are oligonucleotides that are synthesized in lab. Now the next is the DNA nucleotide, and the last one is the DNA polymerase, that is actually Taq polymerase. This polymerase enzyme is a thermostable DNA polymerase. After seeing the requirement for PCR, now come to the steps of PCR, polymerase chain reaction. The first step for this reaction is the denaturation. Denaturation means the separation of DNA strands by heating. So for denaturation, the temperature that is given is 90 to 94 degrees centigrade. This is the range. At this temperature, the hydrogen bonds that is present between the DNA strands the hydrogen bond is broken, and these two strands are separated. But the catch is the temperature must be given for a very short period of time, otherwise the phosphodiester bond is also dissolved. After denaturation, the annealing is done. Annealing is done at 50 degree to 60 degree centigrade. We decreases the temperature from 90 degree to 50 to 60 degree centigrade. And this is the process where the RNA primers are added. Two sets of RNA primers are added. The one is known as forward and the next is the reverse. RNA primers are added to 3' end of DNA strand. So both the strands are attached with the RNA primers. Next step is the extension. This extension is done at 72 degrees centigrade. Here the DNA nucleotides are provided. These all things, RNA primers and DNA nucleotides, are provided in laboratory by us. So DNA nucleotides are provided, and with the help of Taq polymerase enzyme, these DNA nucleotides are added with these primers. And like this, right? So in this way the extension takes place. Here the important point is the Taq polymerase. This Taq polymerase is isolated from Thermus aquaticus bacteria. This bacteria is heat resistant bacteria. So the question is why the human polymerase is not used here? Because the human polymerase cannot tolerate such a high temperature during the polymerase chain reaction. So this polymerase is extracted, Taq polymerase is extracted from Thermus aquaticus bacteria, and it is known as Taq. It can sustain at this temperature. So by using these steps we can extend or make multiple copies of gene of interest. In NCERT it is given that after 30 cycles we can get approximately 1 billion copies of gene of interest. So this is the polymerase chain reaction. Moving to the next topic, that is bioreactor. Now the topic is bioreactor. The ultimate goal of almost all recombinant DNA technology is to obtain the desirable protein, and for this we use the bioreactor, because in bioreactor we can process the culture in a very large volume. It can be processed 100 liter to 1000 liters. 1000 liter culture can be processed in bioreactor. So we able to get the desirable protein in a large quantity. Basically, it is of two types: the stirrer type bioreactor and the sparger type of bioreactor. So let's see the stirrer tank bioreactor. The stirrer type bioreactor is a cylindrical vessel having a curved base. So this curved base helps in proper mixing of the culture medium. It has a motor. Connected to this motor there is a shaft which has blades. So there are two different type of blades. One blade is above the culture medium and the other blades are remain inside the culture medium. It is connected to the thermometer and it has pH control opening also. It has a water jacket. This water jacket helps to maintain the optimum temperature. So when the motor starts, the blades rotates and the froth is formed. The culture medium is, there is agitation in culture medium so that the oxygen is supplied to every cell. And here in the above surface the foam is collected. So this blade is used acting as a foam cutter. So if the foam is accumulated here, it acts as a barrier of air for air, and this bacteria needs air for its growth. If the temperature is more than the optimum temperature, the cold water flows through this water jacket, and if the temperature is less than the optimum temperature, then the hot water is circulated through this jacket. The pH is also controlled in this vessel. If the cultural medium is more acidic, then dilute base is added through here, and if the culture medium is more basic, then the dilute acid is added. So by giving the optimum conditions to this bioreactor, we are able to get the maximum quantity of desirable protein. This bioreactor acts on continuous culture system. Continuous culture system. In this system, the used culture medium are drained from one side and the fresh culture medium is added to the another side, so that the potency is maintained. So in this way we can maintain the proper growth of the bacterial cell. So this is the stirrer type of bioreactor. The next type of bioreactor is the sparger type of bioreactor. In the sparger type bioreactor, it is a flat bottom vessel. The loop is attached, and the loop has holes to form the air bubbles. It rotates and forms the air bubbles. The processed protein is collected from this bioreactor and is purified by the process of downstreaming. So the next topic is downstreaming process. In downstreaming process, this is the process of separation and purification of the protein. So when we are collecting the proteins, the processed protein from bioreactor, this protein has some amount of substrate also and some amount of cultural medium also. So for packaging and for marketing, we need to obtain the purified form of protein. So through this downstreaming process, we eliminate the substrate and the particles of cultural medium from this protein, and this process is known as the downstreaming process. Now we get the purified protein. So this is the last topic of this chapter, biotechnology principles and processes. I hope this video will be helpful to you. So please hit the like button. In the next video, we will discuss about the applications of biotechnology. Thank you.